I've got ransomware on my computer. Does that mean I have a virus? Maybe, maybe not. I'm Woody Huffines. I own the Nerds to Go in McKinney and Frisco, Texas, and this is Tech for the Untechnical. Last time we talked about the kinds of things that are really viruses or malware, or the basic building blocks of malware. And here's a link up here if you want to go watch that one if you haven't watched it. And those building blocks, the virus, the Trojan horse, the rootkit, all those things are used to do something to your computer that again gets a different name. And we're going to talk today about what those different things are. And any one of these things that can happen to your computer can happen to your computer because you have a virus, or because you had a Trojan horse, or because you had a worm, or because you had a fileless transfer, or a rootkit, or whatever. So you can get this activity going on your computer. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a virus. You might have a Trojan horse. You might have a rootkit. So let's go through the things that we talk about when we speak of malware. A lot of times we're talking about a symptom and not the disease. The malware is the disease. The activity is the symptom. So there's a virus, that's the disease, and the things that it's doing to you, those are the symptoms. The big one that's out now is ransomware. And ransomware is when a file gets put on your computer by any one of those methods that we talked about earlier and encrypts all of the files on your computer. It goes through an encryption algorithm and then adds an extension to the file name. So you have, a tax document, like Quicken tax document has, Woody 2017.tax. And I get on my computer one day and it says Woody's 2017.tax.ha, and the ha is an encrypted file that I can't read because the bad guy has gone in and encrypted all of the files on my computer so that I can't read them. And the reason it's called ransomware is they pop up a message on your screen that says, pay us. Some cities are paying millions of dollars and we'll give you your data back. And they give you the decryption key to go back and decrypt that data. That's ransomware. So what ransomware does is it leaves the files on your computer. It just makes it so you can't touch them. Another kind of malware that's prevalent that we see especially in domestic dispute situations where people are mad at each other is called a keylogger. And what a keylogger does is it looks at everything that you type on your keyboard and saves that to a file and sends that file someplace. So if I put a keylogger on your computer and I see you type Amazon.com, I know you're going to the Amazon website, and then I see an email address and then I see a password, and the keylogger captures that, and the keylogger goes, ha, and sends it to me, and all of your keystrokes are logged with a keylogger. And again, it can be put on with a Trojan or a virus or all those different methods. So that's a symptom, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a virus. It could be one of those other things. But a keylogger, all it does is records all of your keystrokes and saves them either for somebody to retrieve locally or sends them off someplace so that they can see what your keystrokes are. The next category is adware, and adware is often not a virus. Adware is often not even a Trojan horse. Adware is where you download a piece of software that you find useful, but the whole reason that software is out there is because it wants to get its ads in front of you. WeatherBug was a great example. WeatherBug on phones and computers really ended up being adware as much as anything else because they just wanted you to get it so that you would see the ads. And so it's kind of a trade-off. If you find the application useful, you might put up with the ads. Maybe not. Kind of your call. But adware, it's software that displays ads and keeps displaying those ads for you. And closely related to adware is a thing called spyware. And then spyware, whether it's a Trojan or a virus, gets on your computer and exfiltrates information from your computer that the bad guy wants, like your bank account information or your credit card information or your logins or whatever. So spyware spies on your computer and reports back to headquarters what your computer's doing. And this could be a combination of a spyware with a keylogger. You can put those two things together and they can see a lot of stuff on the computer because they're capturing the logins and capturing your internet history and all that stuff together, and it's spying on you, and that's why it's called spyware. A botnet is where somebody hacks into your computer and creates a robot out of your computer that the bad guy can then use to do denial of service attacks. There's a couple of videos up here you can go watch and talk a lot about that. But the botnet is where your computer gets used by somebody else to do whatever bad things they want to do. It just makes your computer a robot computer. Probably the one that we see the most is a browser hijack. And that's where you downloaded a piece of software, or you downloaded a program, and it says, "Hey, do you want to have a different search engine?" And all of a sudden, your browser then, instead of going to your Google homepage or your Yahoo homepage or whatever homepage it is that you set, it hijacks your browser and makes your browser go to the homepage that it wants you to go to, so that it can monetize everything that you do, possibly steal your information. And probably the number one malware that we see at Nerds to Go is somebody whose browser's been hijacked, and they don't understand why they can't see Google anymore or Yahoo anymore. And most of the time, it's something that you clicked on. It was a pop-up that said, "Do you want to install this?" And you just clicked without thinking, "Really, do I want to?" So if you find that your computer's not going where you think it ought to go in your browser, you probably got a browser hijack, and we can help you with that. Then going down the list, there's backdoors. Some computer manufacturers have super secret squirrel decoder ring passwords so that they can remote into your computer and you don't know about it. It's called a backdoor. Most of the time in the movies, the hacker installed the computer system at the big company that they're going to hack, and he happens to have a backdoor because he put in a backdoor so he could get there. Not real common, but there are backdoors. It's just another one. There's RAM scrapes, which goes in and dumps your RAM out to see what kind of things that you're doing in your RAM. It's a RAM scrape. Again, not real common, but it's out there. You have rogue security software. Rogue security software, there are several places where they'll pop up and say, "You have a virus. Download this security software." And you download that security software. What you just downloaded was an internet Trojan or a virus that's going to steal things from you. It's just rogue security software is a big happy place for the bad guys, because if you're concerned about computer security and you click on a rogue software that's supposed to be a security program, then you're infected, which is why we recommend that you buy security software. We sell Avast, we like Avast, but whichever one you pick one and pay for it, because the paid versions, you don't have to put up with the ads, and your risk profile is a lot lower. Because most of the people that are using rogue antivirus, the rogue antiviruses, they don't make you pay for them. They just give them to you out of the goodness of their heart because they're nice people. And the final one that's gotten pretty popular is called cryptojacking, which is kind of a subset of a botnet. And the cryptojackers, you've heard about Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these digital currencies, the digital money. And the way that you get digital money is you mine the mathematical space for this currency, and you find places where that currency exists in the ones and zeros in the Bitcoin code. And so Bitcoin mining was a big deal. 5 or 6 years ago, people were putting together computer farms, big 50, 60, 70 computers tied together, and all of them crunching through the numbers to try to mine the Bitcoin. Well, now they figured out if they can get through your Internet of Things device and hack your network, they can make your Ring camera go out and look for Bitcoin. And it's not as fast and it's not as efficient, but instead of having one device, you've got a cryptojacking botnet of 50,000 devices. And even though each one of them is not particularly fast, all of them are working on this mathematical problem all the time, and you don't have to buy any of them because you're stealing from somebody else. So whether we're talking about keyloggers or browser hijacking or ransomware, so if you get any of these things on your computer, it's a keylogger, it's a ransomware, it's a cryptojacker, or whatever it is. It might be a virus, could be a Trojan horse, could be a rootkit, or could be a worm. Worms come through vulnerability. Trojan horses come because they trick you into clicking something. Viruses get infected because you got a vulnerability on the computer, or you stick an infected USB in the computer. It's not something that you know that you're doing. Where a Trojan horse, you're downloading something, you're just not downloading what you thought you were downloading. And then a rootkit. So if you have any questions about any of these things, give us a call at Nerds to Go and we can explain it to you further, or maybe even help you get it off your computer. You know the drill. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit notify, share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.